Bella, welcome to Bella. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. It is the end of January. Well, we have one more day, but it's almost over. And I'm definitely at the point where January feels like it has been 85 years long. But that's okay. It's all right. Um, we have a nice wrap up for the end of the month. So I want to discuss that with you all and then uh, talk about what's coming up for February. Okay? So this is my Whips and Foes video for January 2026. This is also where I will do my craft yourself free totals, and I'll talk a little bit about that if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about. And whips and foes, that's works in progress and finished objects. So I don't have a ton of crochet time, and I try to do a wrap up once a month. I wish I could do more often because these videos seem to do really well. People love looking at projects, people love looking at yarn, people love knowing the progress that you've made, and I appreciate that so much. But I just don't have, if I tried to come on every week and show you what I've done, it would be so minimal, right? And I'm not comparing that to other people. Like, I'm comparing that to myself. In the summertime and when I have breaks, I get a lot done. When I'm working full time and I have just the few hours at night and the time on the weekends where I'm not trying to like frantically clean my house and cook and do laundry, I don't have a ton of crochet time. And then when my eyes get too tired to pay attention to the stitches, that's when I end up reading. And I stay up way too late doing that. But that's beside the point. Uh, so I feel like just doing it once a month is more beneficial for me. And I only do videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday normally. So if every Friday was a crochet video for me, some of my content would be way too far out and it wouldn't be relevant. So that's just because I did have an email asking me why I didn't do something every week to show my progress. Yeah, I just don't have the time to do so much that progress is warranted every week. Uh, so I do have a finished object. One. No, I lied. I have three. I have three finished objects. But one of them I've already shown you. I'm going to show it again, but I've already shown it to you. The other one is a test pattern, and I know that she won't mind that I'm showing you because by the time this video comes out, the pattern will be released or almost released. So it's not an issue, but I always hesitate doing stuff like that because it's not my pattern, right? It's not something that I wrote, and I know she wouldn't mind the promotion. I just am very leery about pre-releasing things. And then the other one is something that I made with leftover yarn just to use it. So we'll talk about those first, and then we'll go into progress that I've made on other things. All right, so the first thing that I finished, I actually have right here. Actually, you know what? I have 4 finished objects because I did the teardrop. This little doodad right here. I didn't weave in my ends, but my little Japanese experiment. I have that. And that was made with the DMC Natural XL cotton yarn. If you want to see that experiment where I tried to do a Japanese pattern, the video is on my channel. You can go check it out. It is a little bit long, so you would need like a project and a snack and maybe a drink. But I did attempt a Japanese pattern, and even with Google Lens translating to help, it was interesting. Okay, anyway, this is a journal cover. My daughter still has not gotten it from me. I told her that it was available. Maybe I just need to hand it to her. That I finished the video where I talked about this. This is part of my liberal arts mal that I'm doing all year long. This was my January creation. So if you want to see full details on that, you can go check out that video. I did not talk about the yarn though, because the labels I didn't have. So this is Lily Sugar and Cream Fruit Punch. And then this is Lily Sugar and Cream, just yellow. That's the name of it. I thought it was called Daisy, but it's not. I looked up the Daisy one, and I don't have the Daisy one. The Daisy one has yellow and white. So this is Fruit Punch, and then this is the yellow colorway. So there's that. And then out of this yarn, I made a granny square. And I'm going to finish the granny square. I'm going to make a pot holder with a different yarn, but I haven't used that yarn yet. So I don't have it to show you as far as like I'm done with the whole pot holder. But I did finish the granny square. So I'll show you that here. And that's just using up the leftover yarn that I had from the journal cover, the diary cover. It's just a basic granny square. I don't really like making granny squares, but I was like, I could use this as a pot holder at work because I've made other pot holders and they're very well used. So I bring them home and wash them from time to time. Okay. Oh, yes. My other FO is... Where? Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, I know I took pictures. So, the lighting isn't really good. Let me go and get a different picture. So I did a test pattern for Evelyn at Pink Sheep Designs. She's doing what's called the Chunky Boy Tote. And it's a purse, essentially. And of course, it's using chunky yarn. And she used I-cord when she made hers, but she wanted people to test it out in different yarns. And she had 2 different size hooks. So this is my purse that I made. And this is using Robin Paintbox Splash Chunky or Super Chunky. And this is the colorway, I think it was originally called Jungle, but when you look it up online, it just says blue-green, but it's Jungle. I had another one of this that was like ice or something that I used to make leg warmers for Pink Sheep Designs as well. So I finished this in my world yesterday, which is Sunday, because I'm filming this on Monday, but it would have been almost a week ago when you see this. So I used 2 balls of yarn for that, and they were both 71 yards, so that's 142 yards. Because it took I made 2 different bags, and it took 1 skein for each bag. And those are my finished objects. That's it. That's all I finished. And then I have started, well, I did make some progress on the Waffle Stitch Blanket. I have decided to stop growing the blanket, and my slippers are, they were coming off my feet, sorry. So I'm just going to start putting the border around it, and so that's what I started doing here. So where the green stitch marker is, that's the last time I showed you. So I did that many more rows, and then I've started the border going around a couple of times. So I'm on the border there. And this is using Caron Kindness, which is 100% polyester yarn. I have some of it right here. It does not feel the greatest. It is not kind at all. Um, but I'm almost done with the blanket. I just have to finish the border and weave in the ends. But I was able to finish another ball of each color. And then I have the rest of the balls that I'm working on for the border. So that'll be 3 more in February when I finish those. So I am trying to get projects off my hook because I seem to be just starting more, and it is anxiety city for me. Okay, so another thing that I'm working on, this is a work in progress. Khadijah at Lady Bird Loves is doing a pick and mix cowl. This is the second one that she's done like this, but this time we're making triangles. And I have some of my triangles here. In this picture, I have not joined them yet. I just took pictures of them so that you could see them. And they're joined now, but there's a glare from the camera. So you make 2 triangles out of each stitch that you're given, and the wheels pick the stitch and the wheels pick the color. So they're joined for now, and then we just do every week we do 2 more triangles. So you can still join in. There's still opportunity to join in. You just email her and let her know. And it is a private cowl. So if you join in, you're sent the link each week. It's not publicly posted on YouTube. So you join in, or you can watch the replay with the link, but it's not going to be on her channel. You have to have the link to watch. Okay. And then Kay and I have started chapter 6 of The Stag and the Serpent. So I have some progress on that. That is so far my chapter 6. And when I finish it, I will let you know what I chose and where I'm going. The Stag and the Serpent was a choose your own path adventure that the Nodding Shed has done. It was her second one. She did the Rosewood Manor Mystery, which I've done, and then this one I'm woefully behind. It's already been a year since she did it, since they finished it even. But we're on chapter 6, and I want to say there are like 10 or 11 chapters, including the border. I don't know. We're not in any rush at all. No rush. But we did read chapter 6 together. We did get started on it. So I have made some progress, but I didn't even get the corner done, which is fine. Normally I wouldn't show this next one here because it is its own segment, but I'm really proud of how far I've come, and I just wanted to show you all because even though I don't ever want to make it again, I'm really in love with it. And it's not as difficult as I thought it would be, but with teeny tiny yarn, it is a pain in the rear. And I would not want to make it with big yarn either, because the stitches would still be a pain in the rear. They wouldn't be as much, but they would be a pain. So I am talking about the Asteria doily. This is, or it was one of the projects that Sam and I were doing last year as collaboration. She's already done hers, but the way that we did it is that it was drawn differently. So we made 4 things in the year, and what my daughter drew, she made. What her son drew, I made. And then this is something I started at the end of last year, and I got a pretty good ways through it, but I did not get it finished before the end of the year, which is fine. I am still working on it. I am on petal 7, so I have about 20-ish more rounds to go. I'm on like round 45, 46. So I have just a few more rounds to go, but I have petals 8 and 9, but it takes several layers to create those petals. So, uh, but the good thing is it is small, so it doesn't take very long. The bad thing is it's small and the yarn gets on my nerves. It's not bad yarn. I'm not speaking bad about the yarn. Thin yarn is just not something that I have a lot of patience with. DK and worsted is kind of where I like to live. Chunkier yarns, I can use them obviously, but it hurts my wrist over time to use the chunkier yarns. So the DK and the worsted weight is where I like to stay. But I am almost finished with it, and I think what I'm gonna do is like I have those squares that Antoinette made me. There's two of them. There's one over there that you really don't usually see, but this one says Ciao Bella on it, and she made those for me, and they're in shadow boxes. And I thought that I wanted to put the doily on a hoop, but I'm really worried about it getting dusty and having to like clean it. And so I thought, well, if I put it in a shadow box, then I wouldn't have to worry about it getting dusty as much. So once it's finished, I'm going to measure it and see if I can find a shadow box. And I'm going to put some nice fabric down where I can pin it to the board and do it that way. I think that might be something that I would want to do more, and I could hang it up somewhere, maybe even in here, and it could be on display, but then I wouldn't have to worry about like dusting it or if it gets wet or anything like that. So that's kind of my thoughts, but I do love the way it's looking. It kind of reminds me of a lily pad. That wasn't my goal, but it does kind of look like a lily pad. So I'm excited about that. Um, sadly, I still have not put any progress in my fairy dust mosaic. And this year, for the Happy Meal Advent Project, it is the year of mosaic. So at some point, I'm going to get more mosaics, which is fun. I'm excited. I am very, very excited to do it. I just feel bad that I still have not. It's been almost a year since I've touched that project, and I really, really, really want to get into it. And I really need to sit down and dedicate time to like dusting off some of these other projects that I've had. I'll feel a lot better doing like putting my attention to that when I have some of the other things off my plate. It just all feels like a bit much. So that's what I have so far, craft wise. I did pick the kit for the first Let's Be Creative segment. I almost said session, but it's not a session because I don't necessarily make it with you all the time. But I have not made it yet. I did kind of delay it out a little bit because the votes were kind of even between the Legos and the crochet kit. So I was like, I need a couple more people to vote on what they would like to see, and a couple more people did vote, and I did do a short displaying that choice. So that was posted. I just haven't started on it yet. And then I do have starting in February. So Sunday, February 1st, there will be a video that drops for the Love Your Craft event for the Advent, the Wonderland Advent by Wildflower Yarns that I have held on to because I didn't want to rush it in December. And I'm trying to decide what project I want to do for that. And then that will go through the month of February. So I'll be opening up pieces of the Advent and crafting furiously to get it done for each video. We'll see. And then I also, February 2nd, the February genre for the liberal arts mail will post. I've already chosen it. The video is already there. You just can't see it. So I'll have to start the project for that. But remember, it doesn't have to be a fiber arts project. Like, it could be something else that you make, something else that inspires you. So I'm going to try to maybe push myself to not do crochet every time. We'll see. And then there was another thing that I had for February, but I don't remember. Nope, it left my brain. I don't remember. Oh, I do have a couple of videos coming out with other things that I've found and was able to purchase. So that'll be exciting. And you've already seen some of the stuff that I purchased on Wednesday, but they're not the same kinds of things. Sorry, my eye really itches. Is there anything else I need to tell you? I don't think so. If you have questions about anything that I've said, if you don't understand something I'm talking about, please put it in the comments below. I will try my best to answer your questions. And now we're going to get into the Craft Yourself Free totals. So Craft Yourself Free is a collaboration between Sam at Memphis Makes and myself, where we open up our crafting journey to be whatever it is that brings us joy in the moment. It could be fiber arts, it could be diamond painting, it could be gardening, reading, resin making, paper mache, I don't know, whatever your heart desires, right? And you use your materials, you figure out a way that you want to inventory those materials to kind of keep track of what you're doing. And I thought this year I might add in the number of pages. So I do the number of yards of yarn when I finish. So like for example with the Waffle Stitch Blanket, I haven't finished the blanket, but I did finish 3 balls of yarn. So I added that yarn to my January total. And I thought that I would do my book pages, but I just realized that I forgot to add up all the pages. So what I will do is in February, the end of February, because I'm not going to go back and do it right now. I know the books that I finished in January, so I can go back and count the number of pages, and I will tell you that at the end of February. But I want to add in not only the yards that I've used, but also the number of pages, because I do read probably excessively for some people, but I love reading very much. So I think while the number of books that I read, I did pretty good last year, I would love to see the number of pages that I read as well, because I mean, I could read the little Lulu and Lainey books, and that's a book that I read, but it's only like 15 pages. So, and there's not a ton of words on there, but it's a book. It counts. So I would like to see the pages that I've read also, just an accountability thing for myself. So, um, we open this up to be anything that you want, anything that brings you joy, crafting wise, anything that you do in your downtime, if you want to share that. And even if you don't have a channel and you want to share how much you've done, you can message Sam or myself or both of us, and we will happily display your projects. I can put them in a video, or you can post them in my community. You can post them in my Facebook group, whatever you would like. If you want them in the video, you can email me and I will absolutely do that for you. But if you want to just share your totals, like you just want to share your totals for each month, put it in the community. That would be wonderful. That would be absolutely so much fun, right? Um, yeah, it would be. So far for January, now we do have technically one more day after you're watching this, And that is the deadline. So the 31st is the deadline for all of the makes, whatever it is you make for the liberal arts mal. But I'm not going to finish any more yarn before February 1st. So I have my total of yarn and I have my total of books, and I will get you my total of pages in February. So for yarn, for January, I have used 1,392 yards of yarn. I'm pretty proud of myself. And then for books, I read 11 books in the month of January. And that's pretty exciting. It's starting off with a good year, with a good number for the year so far. So each month it's going to grow. So last year, I wrote down that I read 130 books, but I really think I read more than that. And I said that in the video. I think it was closer to like 150. But it's fine. Well, what I have on the paper. So if I read 130 last year, my goal is to read more than that this year. And I know for an absolute fact that I will devour books over spring break and over the summer. So I do not have any problem in thinking that I will do more than that this year. But things happen. You never know. We'll see. There's no way I'm going to double it. But I would have no time for crochet if I did that. And that would make me very sad because I love crochet just as much as I love reading. Just sometimes my hands and my eyes get tired and all I want to do is just lay back and read. So I would say that's a pretty good chunk for the month of January. And like I said, if you want to share your totals, you can put them in the comments. You can put them in the community. You can put them in my Facebook group. Whatever you would like. And until I see you again, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!